Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, and welcome to week 9 of the Pokemon Battle Association. This week we're up against Fat Leo, coach of the Toronto Torterras, and Fat Leo is another PokeTuber, so he has his side of the battle up on YouTube. So I'll have a link to his channel down in the description below. Make sure to check him out. He's an awesome league battler. Has loads of league battles up on YouTube. Definitely worthwhile checking him out, so please definitely do. He's also actually the administrator for this league, so he's he's the guy who runs the show, basically. He's the guy who runs the show, so definitely check him out. Also, huge thanks to him because he saved the battle code when I did not. So we will be viewing this from David's side because of my idiocy previously. Quick look at what I brought, because as you guys know from now, I lost all my team building videos and all that kind of shenanigans. I'm bringing Life Orb Magnetric, Physically Defensive Uxie, a Lumberry Gyarados, which I will get to in a minute, Scarf Excadrill, Cleric Especially Defensive Umbreon, and Mega Lopunny. Now, you guys are probably saying to yourselves, Irish, you don't have normal Gyarados on your team, and that was correct until week 8, where we had the transaction week. It was just a crazy week. I only made 2 transactions myself. Loads of people made loads of different changes to their teams, but I only made 2. I got rid of Fraligair because I just wasn't using Fraligair. I just couldn't fit it into my team, so I picked up Gyarados instead because normally I'd like a bulky water type, but I said, look, there's none of them are knocking around anymore, so I might as well just pick up Gyarados, who gives me Intimidate, Pressure, Moxie, Dragon Dance, all that kind of fun stuff, and it gives me enough coverage as well to deal with a few different options. So I said I'll bring Gyarados. I pick up Gyarados, and I dropped Armaldo for Rhydon because I had no reliable counter to flying types. So the likes of Talonflame, Staraptor, all that kind of stuff would have been able to wreck my Mega. And Armaldo is just not good enough for that job because he's only neutral. He's not a pure rock type because he only gets neutrally hit by bug. So because of his bug typing, so I had to patch it up a bit. So I made those two transactions, and this week is Gyarados' debut. And as we see when we get into the battle, which is actually pretty long, so sit tight. We'll see how we actually fare. So yeah, let's just get into it. I have my DS over here, by the way, as I'm viewing it. Right, so he's what I decided to do is I decided to leave my Lopunny as he decides to leave with his Galvantula. Remember, we're watching this from David's side, so it might seem a bit odd, but he does leave with his Galvantula, and I brought out Lopunny because I wanted to fake out him so as to stop him from setting up webs. But he sees that coming and he brings in his Landorus Incarnate, which happens to have the Rocky Helmet. So this does actually hurt me quite a bit, but I Mega Evolve anyways, and I just simply go for my Fake Out, and it just does a little bit of damage to the Landorus Incarnate, but it does more damage to me. So that was the best play that David could have made, or Leo I should say. I then decided to switch out into my Physically Defensive Uxie because I wasn't too sure what this Landorus was going to do, and as this Landorus does go for the superpower, so this guy was pretty much designed to counter my Lopunny. It was a good job I did switch out there rather than go for the Ice Punch, because I am carrying Ice Punch here to be able to deal with this Landorus. So I was very happy to be able to say, look, let's get out of here. This thing is built to deal with me. I need to get more chip damage on this Landorus. So Landorus does U-turns on me straight off the bat, and does a good bit of damage to me as I go for my own U-turn as Galvantula comes in. So I'm happy enough with that because that means Galvantula all of a sudden has been it doesn't have a sash done. So I go out to my Excadrill here, whereas I should have really taken the risk and gone out to my Lopunny and pressured him out because I O-code this thing from here and I could have just Ice Punched it really, but I go into my Excadrill as he goes back out to his Landorus Incarnate, and I go for the Rock Slide, hoping to kill the Galvantula, but sadly I miss. So I switch back out and I go into my Rampage to be able to kind of put a bit of pressure on this thing, as this Landorus goes for his Stealth Rock. So this Landorus is becoming more and more utility and defensive rather than offensive, which what I was predicting. Which, you know, I was originally there saying, well, that's not too bad. That's actually pretty good for me. But didn't turn out to be that way. at the end. So I go for my Ice Fang here, and it does do a bit of damage, but not enough really, as he goes and Mega Evolves his Blastoise. So we see the Mega Evolution here, and he goes for the Hidden Power Oh no, sorry, I go for the Bounce, right? But he actually does have Hidden Power Electric, which we do see later on, right there. So I land my Bounce, trying to fish. So how much damage this is going to do, and it does a fair bit. But his Hidden Power Electric is going to do buckets to me. It actually nearly picks up the O-Cup, but doesn't quite do it. So I go for another Bounce. And to be honest, had he gone into his Landorus Incarnate here, he probably would have picked me off. But he decides against it. He switches out. Um, he went for the Orsphere there, predicting I went for my Excadrill. But he goes out into his Sansa, his Florges. Now, this Florges, as I find out, happens to be Cleric. Now, I was predicting this to be some sort of wall, kind of utility kind of stuff. So that didn't surprise me witnessing this being a Cleric later on. But it does become really annoying because he does use this Cleric extremely well. So I switch out from there and I go into my Excadrill, predicting that I'll be able to put pressure on this Florges immediately, and it'll either force him to protect or wish, whatever, and I can get my Rapid Spin off and get rid of these rocks. As we do see him go for the wish. So that works out for him fairly well, which was interesting. But he retreats there, wanting to get the wish up on somebody. He brings out his Landorus Incarnate, predicting me to go for the Rapid Spin. And this thing does end up being getting fully healed afterwards from the wish, which is annoying. But I do get rid of my rocks, which I'm happier about. That's what I'm trying to say. I move out from my Excadrill here because I'm Scarfed, and as well this thing's got Superpower, and I go right onto my Smarty Pants as this thing goes straight up for U-turn and brings me down to half, which is not too bad. My Uxie's kind of doing a good effort here. It's being a good physical wall, which is what I wanted to do, as he goes out into his Galvantula. So I immediately switch here. I predict the Sticky Web's coming now, and I go out into my Lopunny. You know, which I said I should have done earlier, and that's exactly what I did. Sticky Webs come, and I decide here to go for, I believe I went for Ice Punch or Return. No, I went for Return. I went for my Return, and I should have went for Ice Punch. I really should have went for Ice Punch, but Return, I went for, and I do buckets to this Landorus Incarnate. Had I been brave and just gone for the Ice Punch, I could have picked up the KO, or pretty much worn this down to be a KO. But alas, I didn't, and I go for the Ice Punch here. And this seems to be a kind of running theme for me, is that I'm just not brave enough to make the prediction. Even though I have read a few of them during the matchup, I'm just never brave enough to actually say, I should do this, I'm going to go for it, and risk the biscuit. I actually play ridiculously safe, which you know, it does kind of cost me a couple of KOs here and there. So I go out to my Excadrill here, seeing that I was able to force this Florges out previously. Let me go out to my Excadrill. Let's go for the Rapid Spin, get rid of these webs, you know, because I know I can pressure this thing. So Fat Leo makes the safe plays here. He just goes Protect, trying to build his Florges back up to health again, as I'm trying to just simply get rid of my webs to stop me from being slowed down. So he keeps doing that. I do go for the Rapid Spin here and tidy up what's going on on my side of the field. So I do get rid of my webs as he goes for the wish. And he's pretty much has a free play here because he knows I'm scarfed at this point. So he's a free play to go into whatever he wants, which is a bit unfortunate. But I need to get rid of webs because my team does suffer from it if they're gone. So I go into my Uxie here, predicting, sure, he's going to switch, so I'll go into my Uxie and make the utility play, or the middle ground play, for me to be able to get my health back up, which is nice. As he unfortunately goes out into his Blastoise and gets Blastoise right up to full health. So this Blastoise goes for the Dark Pulse and knocks me out. So I am done. So my Uxie's just dead right there, which is really unfortunate because I don't have an answer to Landorus anymore. And I wasn't thinking that this guy had Aura Sphere either. So that really was a pain. Because had I known that this Blastoise had Aura Sphere, I would have kept Uxie. But I got done in. I should have really gone out into Umbreon Mooney way on that play instead of dropping Uxie, but I didn't. So I end up toxicking this Blastoise because this thing's becoming a nuisance, and I do need to wear this thing out. So he switches out his Blastoise here, goes out into Sansa because he knows I can't touch this thing at the moment. As I go for the Protect to try and get some health back, and we see we're both lefties recovery right here. We're in a unique situation where we're both clerics, and we both have the opportunity here to kind of wish pass into whatever we want. So he goes for his wish. I'm pretty much going to go for mine. Or do I go for toxic? I'm pretty sure I go for wish here because I am starting to be worn down. He's starting to gradually wear me out here as he has been holding momentum a lot in this matchup. So we will get our lefties recovery here again. It kind of slows down a bit here because we're just been stalling. Floor just now goes for the heal bell to kind of, cure a few of his a few of his mods, particularly the Blastoise, which just got toxic. As I go for my own toxic and toxic this floor just to try and wear it out. Floor just back at full health now. Same with my Umbreon. I kind of come to the conclusion I do really want to wish pass into Gyarados, I believe, at this point. But it's a slow build for me here. So to get there, get to that point, he goes for the heal bell. I go for the wish. It does get really. This is kind of one of the lows in the battle, as we do kind of try and trade off wishes and try and just get our team back up to full speed before we go at it again. It's kind of like, two arms retreating, trying to go back at each other then after that. So he wish passes into this thing, I believe. Whereas I get out of here and go out into my Gyarados. So I heal. I do get my wish pass into Gyarados, which I'm delighted about, by the way. So that worked out perfectly for me. I do now switch out from Gyarados into my Manectric because I'm feeling this guy's going to go for Thunderbolt. He's got the perfect chance to get rid of my Gyarados. Not much point doing it. But David makes the middle ground play, predicting me to go out into my Manectric and getting a lightning rod boost, and just goes for his sticky webs. He now switches out here and goes out into his T-Tar. And I go for the Volt switch here, just getting out of here because I didn't think he'd go out into his Landorus. And even though I was humming and hawing here, but whether to go for Flamethrower or Volt Switch, whatever, I just said Volt Switch was probably my best play. So I Volt Switch out into my Gyarados. And I really do need to keep this thing around because he's got 2 Mons weak to it. So it's really top priority to keep Rampage around for as long as possible. As I go for a Waterfall here on his incoming Blastoise, which, sadly does nothing. Does nothing to this thing. So I go for the Waterfall, and as you see, next to no damage. Next to no damage. I get buffeted, he gets buffeted. I believe it's buffeted anyways. It's buffeted, or buffeted, whatever you call it. I switch out for my Gyarados and go out into my Umbreon because I realize this thing is especially offensive. No point me kind of dealing with a Hidden Power Electric as he goes for a Dark Pulse. I'm kind of humming and hawing about that play. Really, I'm still humming and hawing about. Though, to be honest, a lot of this game I'm second guessing every time I watch it. I could have really gone out to my Manectric there, eating that Dark Pulse and just gone for a hit, but I didn't. So he sees the opportunity to go for the Aura Sphere here. He does go for it. I go for a Toxic because I really want to. I really want to wear down this Blastoise even further, and he does get buffeted and he gets 6% damage off from the Toxic. As I will just get my I'll get my lefty's recovery, and hopefully survive. I don't believe I stay in here, but I do plan to switch out because I want to keep this thing around. But the leftovers does help me survive later on. I do go for the Protect, just want to Toxic stall this thing a little bit longer and get a bit more health back from my lefties as he goes for another Aura Sphere, hoping to pick me off. And the sandstorm subsides this turn as well, which is great because it does mean I'm not losing all my lefties recovery that I do get. So Blastoise is slowly being worn down, which is good for me. But I do predict him to switch here, so I do get out and and go out to Rampage. But he doesn't switch, which kind of scares me a little bit because he did stay in. He went for another Aura Sphere, so he's full on what compared to picking someone off with this Blastoise at the moment, as the toxic damage even does more damage to him. So he switches out eventually. It took him a while. I was waiting for him to just switch out, but he switches out eventually and goes out into Sansa. Now I should have been brave and gone for the D-Dance, but I didn't. So I go for the Waterfall, just to try and pick off that Blastoise, and we do less than half to this Florges. So this has me thinking, oh, this thing is especially physically defensive, all that kind of shenanigans. I should have gone for the D-Dance and put really good pressure on this guy, but I didn't. As I go out to my Excadrill here, and it's the same story, different time in the battle. I just want to get rid of my webs. I should have changed it up really and done something completely different, but I just want to get rid of webs because I'm like, with webs on the field, with webs on the field, my Lopunny is just useless. I'm slower than everything. He outspeeds me the whole lot, so that didn't really help. So we see the Florges, getting the wish pass and all that kind of stuff, done, which is a little bit annoying. I'm not gonna lie, but I do get these webs out of my face, as we see the Florges go for the wish one more time. It's a recurring theme. Like I said at the start of this battle, this cleric, it just really annoys me. But the Florges gets lefties recovery and gets wish passed. I get out of here. I don't want to deal with this Florges anymore. I go into my Manectric, as this Florges does get out and goes out into the Blastoise. Now this works out pretty well for me because I now have the opportunity to put some pressure on. Now this is where I should have been brave, because I knew in my heart and soul this Blastoise was not staying in, right? I should have gone for Hidden Power Ice. Like I was torn, but I went for the Thunder. I didn't go for the Thunderbolt. I think I went for the Flamethrower. No, I went for the Thunderbolt, wanting to pick off the Blastoise. I should have went for Hidden Power Ice there and picked this thing off, but I didn't. And when that was in, I should have went for the Thunderbolt, predicted someone else to come in, but I didn't. I went for the Hidden Power Ice. So both times I just played what was in front of me rather than thinking about the next play ahead of me. And had I done that, I would have picked off the Landorus Incarnate and either the first time, and had I not, I would have done serious damage to this T-Tar. So I'm sick in both ways doing that. Now this is where the battle turns. I go for the full switch, because I'm just getting out of here. I'm fast in this T-Tar, so I'm just gonna do the full switch and get out. But he has Pursuit, so this Pursuit wrecks my Manectric, and I'm down to 4 mons, and all 4 mons are weak to Aura Sphere, Blastoise, all of them. So I'm in bother. Like Drill, Lop, Drill, Lop? Oh no, not Gyarados, bar Gyarados, but Gyarados loses to Blastoise as well because Blastoise has the Hidden Power Electric. So at this point, I had nothing for Blastoise, right? I was in a bad spot. I needed to keep Manectric around, but I just didn't. I was just poor by me. I decided to start. I decided to just go for High Jump Kick there, but the floor just comes in, eats it like a tank. I switch here. I think I go out into my Excadrill, and this is like the first time I haven't had to get rid of Hazard, so he pretty much knows I'm going for the kill here. I'm going for the Iron Head. I'm going for the Rock Slide. Whatever it is, I'm going for damage. As he goes for his wish, as I come in. Now, I'm kind of sickened at this point because I know it's a real uphill battle for me. I have to wear down the Blastoise to the point Lopunny or Excadrill can come in and finish it. Landorus Incarnate is walling my Lopunny as well. Really bad spot. I go for the Iron Head here. Again, just playing what's in front of me rather than thinking ahead, which is another poor form. I should have gone for Rock Slide or even EQ, but I just didn't. I just didn't. So the wish comes true. I get the toxic damage off again. I decide I better switch out my Excadrill and go into my Gyarados. and you know, it starts to unravel here slowly. He goes for the Dark Pulse. My Gyarados goes down to this, I believe. It does. Um, so down goes Gyarados, and pretty much I lose the Aura Sphere Blastoise at this point. Like, I've no answer to this Blastoise, really. I go out into my Lopunny, because I know I can fake out all that kind of shenanigans and just try and wear it out. But he makes a smart play. He switches. He goes out into his Florges to kind of eat this fake out. You know, it's a smart play by him. You know, at this point, I was wishing that Lopunny got Poison Jab, but I don't. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. Uh, Now this Florges can pretty much just protect and just, you know, stall out and just stall me out until he gets to the point where Lefty's pretty much saves it from being one shot. So I go on to my Lopunny here, thinking, right, I can heal something up here. So I decide to go on to my Lopunny to take whatever hit's coming, and I get my Lefty's recovery off. Now we see Fat Leo make the offensive play this time, going for the Moonblast. That brings me down into the red, but I go for the Wish. So this kind of forces me to stay in here with Umbreon and protect and just bring my health all the way back up again. It's a slow stall affair when we see these two clerics out on the field trying to make sure that they're all healthy. But yeah, it is what it is. Umbreon goes for the protect, just want to get the heal, the Wish back, as Florges goes for the heal bell. So good play on Fat Leo's part. Saw the opportunity for me to heal the Toxic on the Blastoise and just went for it. So I'm full health now. The Florges is full health now, and he pretty much knows that he can just Moonblast me into and do whatever. Where he's got a free play essentially, because he knows if I want to hurt the Florges, I need to go out to my Excadrill, as I go for the Toxic here on the Florges. So it's not the worst play. I figured that if I can put some sort of timer on this, even though I know I had Heal Bell, it'd be good. I mainly did it because it'll force him to Heal Bell at some point, and it'll give me a free play. So which was what I really wanted. I decide here that coming up that he's going to go for the Heal Bell straight away. So I figured, right, let's just get out. Oh no, he actually switches, but my idea was he's just going to go for the Heal Bell straight away, so I'm just going to get out. I believe that's what I did anyways. I'm not too sure, but no, I did, because I figured it was the best time. I believe I went to Excadrill, which was the play I did make. This is not good for me. This is really not good for me, because I know he's got Aura Sphere, so I'm right back out again. I'm like, look, I'm not dealing with this Blastoise. Let's go back down to my Umbreon, and unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to sack this thing. So down goes the Umbreon to the Aura Sphere. As I said, Aura Sphere, Blastoise just wrecks me. The Blastoise wrecked me ever since I lost my Netric. But anyways, I decided I have to go out to my Lopunny. I had to at this point. I go for the return, praying that we kill this thing, but no. He goes for the Aura Sphere, and this Aura Sphere does pick off my Lopunny. So down goes Lopunny. I didn't want to go for the high jump kick because I figured he'll switch out into something, but he didn't. He stayed in and just picked me off. I go out into my Excadrill here, and I know I'm in a spot of bother because I can't go for EQ because he still has the Landorus and Carnate around. You know, and I can't really go for Iron Head, even because that doesn't hurt Blastoise really that much, because Blastoise is neutral. So I said, right, I have to go for Rock Slide. So I keep going for Rock Slide, and he brings in his Landorus and Carnate, and he does get flinched out, unfortunately. So he makes a smart play to come back out and go out into his Florges to try and keep his differential up. So out comes the Florges, and this Florges can kind of eat these Rock Slides, to be fair, because it's physically defensive, and I'm not hitting it with Iron Head, which does kind of suck, I'm not going to lie. So the Florges does get a little bit of health back and does get hurt by Toxic. I go for another Rock Slide, hope for flinch here, so I can kind of two-shot. I do get the crit, and Sansa does go for the Wish. So he could protect here or pass into someone else to get the Wish. And we do see coming up, he will pass into the Blastoise. He does survive the Toxic, so he switches out. Fat Leo will go out into his Blastoise, um, and get the health back up, because our Rock Slide, even though it comes close to knocking him out, doesn't quite knock him out. So he does get his wish come true. I'm stumbling through that word there. And I go for another Rock Slide because I'm locked into it, praying that we do get the flinch, but we don't. As Fat Leonardo goes for the Aura Sphere and finishes me off. So Fat Leo picks up the 6-0 win there. Now this is by far my worst loss in a league battle. By far the worst loss I've ever had in a league battle. And we didn't even see Rapidash on the field. That's how bad we were. We were shocking. I'm not gonna lie, we were just awful. But fair play to Fat Leo. The way he played was immaculate. His prep was extremely good, and good luck to him in the rest of the season. And also make sure you guys to check out his channel down in the description below as well, and see his side about it, because he had an awesome prep. So fair dues to him. Unfortunately, that leaves us. Hold on, let me consult my notes. Because it's all post-com here I'm doing. We are at, after that battle, where is it? Come on, come back to me. We are at, oh, here we are. After that battle, we are now 2-7. We are now 2-7 after that battle, so pretty bad spot, but we still have a shot at playoffs if we, perform in the second half of the season. So, definitely still in it. Definitely got to put pretty much 100% into this second half for me to have any shot of making it, but it is what it is. Just can't give up hope. I can't give up hope just yet, especially after a loss like that. No matter how downbeaten it is after to lose like that. Although to be fair, it took a while for him to get the 6-0, so that kind of didn't make me feel too bad about it. So I'm going to wrap it up there today, folks. If you liked today's battle, please click the like button down below. If you have any comments on the battle, please let me know in the comment section down below. Whether I play, what mistakes I made, if you liked the team, if you liked the video, if you didn't like it, all that kind of stuff. And if you want to see more PBA battles or Pokemon content in general coming your way on this channel, please click that subscribe button down below for me as well, you guys. And on that note, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.